In addition to a tight budget and the failure to pass a tax increase, Seven Hills lost one of its largest employers, Longbow Research, to neighboring Independence. What can Seven Hills do to remain competitive and draw in businesses to the predominantly residential city? And then, Councilwoman Lecznar, why don't you go first?
Actually, we already have replaced Longbow with actually someone that's bigger and brings in more revenue. We've been filling a lot of the buildings on Rockside, which are our mainstay of any kind of office space. We did offer an incentive to the building that houses these people to help get them in with tenants. We offer them a low-cost loan. We do everything we possibly can. We did have a study that we had done to see what else we could do on Rockside. And we're hoping for the very near future to hear something will be going in there.
Mr. Tripi, would you like to go next?
Sure. I think probably going off of what Caryl has said, we have limited resources in the city, primarily a residential city. We have to utilize those resources to the best of our ability. And again, it's a matter of being creative, thinking outside the box, and being willing to get those resources used in the most timely manner possible. So we have to, on Rockside Road, there are a limited number of consolidated locations that are available to the for bigger development. We have to look at those and work with developers to try and get those areas built up. And hopefully we can do that sooner than later and bring in more revenue to the city.
Great. Councilman Trafis?
Thank you. Certainly bringing new business into the city is important, and there are some ideas on how we might be able to proceed with doing such a thing. But the problem is right now it's just an idea. There's no plans for anything new. So while we're working on the future plans, we need to address what we currently have. And our primary revenue source occurs on Lombardo Center Drive, where there's a number of buildings. One thing that I've heard from people that work in that area and business owners is one of the problems they have attracting people is the street itself is in disrepair. And it's a big deterrent to new businesses moving in because it doesn't look presentable. And it's something we really could fix quickly and at not a huge cost. So I'd like to spend some money at some point when it's available on fixing Lombardo Center Drive. And finally, to bring in more business, I'd like to go back to what I mentioned previously and get an economic development director. I think a professional in that position could pay off in dividends for Seven Hills.
Mr. Biasiotta, you're up.
Cool. Thank you. Well, the first thing we need to do is, like Matt said, is protect what we have today. And it's important before we start going exploring that we realize, per the data that I was able to get through public records, that it's $1 more per square foot to do business in Seven Hills today than it is in Independence. So, we can't do anything to complicate that going forward, in my opinion. But I'm open for any ideas. The one thing when you're a new person coming in, I'm not married to any of the policies of the past. And new decisions will be based on facts only, what's best for my ward and best for the city as a whole. So if people come up with an idea how to attract and keep business, I'm completely open to it regardless of where the idea is coming from. There's limited commercial development opportunity in Seven Hills today. The big opportunity that's left is the Rockside Road corridor. And I think one of the best opportunities for us is to partner with Independence. It's part of like the regionalization. It's kind of the buzzword throughout the county right now. We have an opportunity to partner with a neighboring city that's experts at doing this, that we share Lombardo Center with. One side of the road is ours, and then across the median's there. So look to them, look to their expertise, and let's build this out, and maybe we can share some of the infrastructure costs moving forward.
Great, thank you. Mr. Tripi, would you like to follow up on anything?
Yes, I think the points made are valid ones in the sense that if you look at Euclid Avenue, I feel like the street has changed significantly since I went to law school here, and walked up and down that street often. And it started with redoing the street. So I think there is a valid point in the sense that you have to do it. But I also like the idea of trying to share in the expense of that with other communities that may benefit from it. So if Independence will benefit from the repairs to Lombardo, then we should take a look at working with them to do so.
Great, great. Councilman Trafis, any follow-up for you?
Just one little detail, just so you're not confused in the future. Lombardo Center is all in Seven Hills. It's not in Independence.
All right.
So,
Well, thank you.
no problem.
The one, there's a the Lombardo Center, the buildings are all in Seven Hills. Then there's our street and a median and then Independence. Am I right?
The street and the median that's in between the street, the whole street is Seven
It's
Hills.
all
All right.
ours.
Just so you know, no big deal.
Thank you.
All right.
Sure.
Any follow-up for you?
I have no follow-up. I like all the input I heard from all three
Great.
candidates.
Councilwoman, anything
No,
for you?
thank you.
Great.